Now, after Monday Night Football and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, Victoria County Animal Services has a record-setting year with bigger goals in store. And an arrest has been made in connection with a weekend shooting in Port Lavaca as authorities investigate the incident. And a father's push for justice heats up as a controversial police shooting gets a fresh look 1 year later.
Cloudy skies on the outside, temperature is 64 degrees. But your forecast for Christmas will include rain showers and thunderstorms. It could be. Give you the details coming up.
And see how a local karate academy gets into the holiday spirit coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now after Monday Night Football. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shawna Currie. Don Brubaker has the night off. Victoria County Animal Services makes history this year with a record-breaking number of adoptions. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joins us with more details on this milestone. Trenton.
Thank you, Shawna. Victoria County Animal Services reached an ambitious goal for pet adoptions this year, 500 adoptions. As of today, 511 pets have found a forever home, marking the highest number of adoptions in Victoria County. The previous record was 398 adoptions in 2013. VCAS set a goal of 500 adoptions for the year. Officials say reaching the milestone took the efforts of the community, fosters, volunteers, local businesses, and families. Even with all this success, hundreds of animals are still waiting for their chance to be adopted. Animal Control Director Mark Sloat says that they'll stay ambitious with their adoption goals moving forward.
A lot of work. We only have one adoption counselor here. We have to answer the phone, do dog adoptions, clean kennels, and also run our calls. So it's been, a huge undertaking of our staff. Our clerk has to do adoptions. I help with adoptions. Everybody kind of has to step up and help.
Animal Services took in more than 1,800 animals this year, which means they adopted out about 27% of their total intake. Sloat credits the community for their work in finding homes for these animals. Sloat also says that they use adoption events to educate people on proper pet care, suggesting that pets should stay home and not be allowed to roam. And that spayed and neutered pets are the best way to prevent new strays. He also says their goal could be even higher in 2025, hinting that 600 may be the number to beat in the new year. Shawna, back to you.
Thank you, Trenton. A suspect has been arrested in a weekend shooting in Port Lavaca. Police arrested 22-year-old Renee Xavier De La Rosa in connection to a shooting at Omar's Bar on Broadway Street around 1:30 Sunday morning. According to police, it started as an argument inside the bar. When the victim left the bar, De La Rosa is accused of shooting him multiple times before taking off in a car. The victim was life-flighted out of the county for a higher level of care. Well, it's time to check in on our weather with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining, who is in for Mac tonight. And looks like kind of a mix of some warmer temperatures and rain over the next couple of days.
Exactly, the rain chances would be on the rise and kind of slacking off a little bit, coming back again, so kind of a roller coaster with rain chances, but more on that here momentarily. First things first, 83 degrees was the daytime high today, low 55 degrees, which is way above normal for our normal high of 66, above normal for our normal low of 44. But check this out right here, the coldest day ever in Victoria, 9 degrees, yes. Back in 1989, this is actually colder than the big chill we had a couple of years ago, actually a bit colder than that. So it can get cold down here at this time of year, obviously, but not today or tomorrow. But rain chances on the rise. We'll give the details on that and severe weather threat as well a little bit later on. Shawna?
Well, no Republican had ever been elected for the Texas Supreme Court until Nathan Hecht ran for the high civil court in 1988. That election foreshadowed the transformation of the court, civil legal procedure, and the state of Texas itself. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. An investigation is underway after a small plane crashed into a golf course in Southern California. When first responders arrived at the scene, they found the plane had overturned and landed underneath a large tree. Authorities say no one on the plane or on the ground were hurt. The Federal Aviation Administration will try to determine what caused the crash. President Joe Biden is commuting the sentences of 37 federal death row inmates to life in prison without parole. Most were convicted of lower profile crimes like murders tied to drug trafficking or killings in prison. When President-elect Donald Trump takes office, only 3 federal inmates will remain on death row: the Boston Marathon bomber, a white nationalist who killed 9 people at a black church in Charleston, and the man who murdered 11 worshipers at Pittsburgh Tree of Life Synagogue. Biden, who campaigned on abolishing the federal death penalty, paused federal executions early in his term. Trump has said that he plans to resume them when he's again in office. A year after a Mesquite police officer shot and killed a man, his father is now fighting for justice. Now the police department has released video showing the moments leading up to the incident. The video and a lawsuit claim excessive force was used. Marvin Hurst has the story.
Every day, he's thought of every day.
It's been over a year for Stephen Lawrence, but his son, Peyton, still hangs close to his heart.
Public safety is heroism, but officer safety is cowardly.
Mesquite police released edited video showing why Officer Jack Fayal confronted and shot Peyton Lawrence in the front seat of his sister's car. It was around 3 a.m., December 14th, 2023.
The use of force at that level is not justified when your life is not in danger.
Police say Peyton dropped off a friend in this alleyway, and the guy took off in this Hyundai sedan. Officers even pointed out the two talking at the scene on the video.
It doesn't look like he was committing a crime, but it looks like he was connected to something unlawful.
The officer had no prior indication that Peyton was involved in any sort of unlawful activity.
Also in the video, Peyton and his friend seemed to be in no hurry heading to this convenience store, even stopping to get gas. Fayal was on patrol, followed and moved in.
Hey! Do not move or I'll kill you. Do you understand me?
Police say the veteran officer gave 12 commands, but Peyton kept going in reverse and moving forward. Eventually, the 42-year-old officer opened fire. Peyton was shot 3 times and died.
Shots fired, shots fired.
I wouldn't want a chief who's over a department who allows this kind of behavior to keep happening. Who's the criminal here?
His father, Stephen Lawrence, has filed a wrongful death and excessive force lawsuit 1 year to the day his son was killed. It's against Fayal and the city of Mesquite.
Do you believe your son is innocent, or do you believe more that there's a wrongful death that occurred?
Well, for one, I think my son's innocent. There's also a wrongful death.
The Dallas County District Attorney's Office says they have no indictment related to the officer. Mesquite police are not commenting on the case because of the lawsuit. Their city attorney has yet to respond to us. But the video is speaking for both sides. Police showing all the guns inside of the vehicle with Peyton and his 3 friends. None of them, by the way, was arrested for the stolen car. But Lawrence and his attorney believe the images also show an officer crossing the line.
That is not the actions of an officer that is scared. That is the actions of an officer who is tired of what he saw and decided he would take matters into his own hands and violate the law.
And the loss of a child.
You're thinking to yourself, man, why am I doing this? I didn't kill nobody.
Almost steals a father's words. Marvin Hurst, CBS News, Texas.
Former President Bill Clinton is hospitalized for testing and observation after developing a fever. His spokesperson says he's in good spirits and hopes to be home by Christmas. At 78, Clinton has had health issues in the past, including heart surgeries, but has stayed active, recently campaigning for Kamala Harris and promoting his new book. Ford is pitching in with $1 million donation and a fleet of vehicles for President-elect Donald Trump's inaugural fund. While the company hasn't said exactly which vehicles will be used for the January 20th ceremony, they did confirm the donation. Ford's CEO recently shared that the company is keeping an eye on policy changes under the new administration, but feels confident about the future. He expects adjustments to tariffs, emissions rules, and electric vehicle incentives. In fact, hybrids and electric vehicles made up nearly 14% of Ford's U.S. sales in November. Amazon and Meta recently announced their own contributions as well. If you drive a Jeep, listen up. Nearly 80,000 of the vehicles are being recalled due to an issue with the rear view camera. The recall affects certain 2024 models. According to the safety notice, a software issue could cause the rear view mirror to not display, which could increase the risk of a crash. Owners will be notified by mail beginning in late January. They can then take their vehicle to a dealer and the camera software will be updated for free. If you need more information, you can always check the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's website for recalls on any vehicle. 'Tis the season for gift giving, and gift cards are one of the hottest gifts this year. But are they secure? According to Capital One Shopping, 64% of U.S. consumers buy gift cards as holiday gifts. However, there are some cases of fraud. Some involve the scammer getting the barcode information, putting the gift card back onto the rack, then redeeming the gift card after someone else has paid for it. According to data released by the Federal Trade Commission, in 2023, card draining and other gift card related fraud made up $217 million of the record $10 billion in money lost from scams nationwide. Well, as you're finishing up that last minute shopping for Christmas, we want to know who's already done and who's still kind of, getting those loose ends, those gift cards, other things like that. Go to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And 76% of you say that you have all of the shopping done and you can relax tomorrow. But 24% still have some shopping to do. So thanks to everyone for voting. An emotional homecoming for a pair of young United States Marines just in time for Christmas. On Saturday, they returned to Phoenix with the help of a nonprofit organization. Josh Cristianto has more on their special reunion with family.
If you ever had a moment you couldn't wait for, times it by 10.
Yeah, he's my baby, so I miss him. Yes, very excited.
For the family of Private Daniel de Jesus Garcia, the wait couldn't be over soon enough.
It's been a month and a half that he's been a New Jersey, North Carolina, but it feels like 3-4 months.
It's a feeling that could warm even a Grinch's heart. Even passersby waiting for flights or baggage, stopping a while to get a glimpse. And when that moment finally comes, there's nothing like it.
So finally being back, being right here next to her, next to my sister as well, it's awesome. Like, there's no feeling like this.
I'm ecstatic. I am very, very happy. I am overjoyed right now. I just want to go home and Christmas bake and do all of that with him.
All of this made possible thanks to nonprofit Miles for Military, which helps active military members get travel deals in exchange for volunteer service. Without it, Private First Class Michael Maselli and his pal Garcia might have spent the holidays elsewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to come back, for sure. I wouldn't have had the money to, but 25 hours of community service and then donations to Miles for Military, 100% is what got me here, and 100% thank you to them.
It's a Marine Corps homecoming that's making it look a lot like Christmas. Reporting in Phoenix, Josh Cristianto, ABC 15, Arizona.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and click the notification bell for alerts. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now after the game. A new FDA-approved generic for the popular diabetes drug promises to ease shortages and cut costs for patients. Plus, the Affordable Care Act is seeing record signups again this year. Find out how many are joining the ranks of covered Americans. Welcome back. A new generic treatment for type 2 diabetes has been approved by the FDA. The generic version of liraglutide, sold under the brand name Victoza, is expected to be cheaper than the branded version, which can cost up to $815 before discounts or insurance. The generic version, which belongs to the same class as Ozempic, is expected to be available nationwide by the end of the year, helping ease a shortage that's been ongoing since July 2023. Well, every child should be able to clearly see the vibrant colors of a sunset or the words on a whiteboard during class. But researchers predict that by 2050, almost a third of all children and teenagers will be short-sighted. Here's ABC's Melissa Adon with the details.
Short-sightedness is a vision problem where nearby objects appear clearly, but distant objects appear blurry. Researchers from China investigated millions of people from 1990 to 2023 and found that the rate of short-sightedness among children and teenagers is rising fast. Around 2.6 billion people were short-sighted in 2020, according to the World Health Organization, which anticipates that this figure will rise to 3.4 billion by 2030. Experts predict that over 740 million children and teenagers worldwide will be affected by this condition by 2050. Girls and young women, adolescents, and high school students had the highest rates of vision problems, especially those in East Asia and urban areas. While it is not known what causes short-sightedness, there are certain risk factors, like spending less time outdoors and more near work, which requires focusing on objects close to your face, such as a screen or reading. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
The Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare, is on track for another year of record signups. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says 16.6 million people enrolled for coverage beginning January 1st, 2025. That's a record for full-year coverage signups. CMS reports 2 million people are new signups. Enrollment has hit record highs every year of the Biden administration after falling under the Trump administration. In 2024, a total of 21.3 million Americans enrolled in Affordable Care Act coverage. Open enrollment will continue through January 15th. If you enroll now, coverage will begin in February of 2025. Just days before Christmas, workers at two major companies are striking, Starbucks and Amazon. Jen Sullivan takes a look at how this could impact your package deliveries and your morning cup of joe.
Workers at two major companies striking ahead of Christmas, Starbucks and Amazon.
No coffee!
Starbucks workers in Seattle, where the company is headquartered, Los Angeles and Chicago, walking out Friday. By Sunday, union workers in 6 other states joining the strike, according to Starbucks Workers United. Some stores closing down entirely. Hundreds of locations could be impacted by Tuesday.
None of us wanted to strike, but we can't afford to not have a fair contract either.
The union is asking for higher wages for baristas ahead of their end-of-year deadline.
We are the face of Starbucks, but we aren't treated like it.
In a statement issued last Thursday, Starbucks said the union prematurely ended bargaining sessions this week after it held more than 9 sessions and bargained over 20 days since April. The other major strike, Amazon. Workers in some cities walking off the job ahead of the busiest time of year for packages.
If we're not in there, they're making nothing.
Workers at New York's Staten Island warehouse walking out over the weekend. New York's Attorney General joining the rally in support.
What you are doing is standing up for your families, standing up for America, standing up for economic benefits, and standing up again for working people, not only in New York, but all across this nation.
Amazon workers in California, Georgia, and Illinois also striking, demanding better wages and working conditions. But the company says customers can expect their deliveries on time. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Okay, on the outside, we had a few rain showers earlier along the coast in our eastern counties. It's all gone now. Quiet night tonight. Most of the day tomorrow will be quiet as well. Then the thunderstorm chances increase after sunset tomorrow. Some could be on the severe side. We'll take a look at that coming up next in your forecast. Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday evening. Christmas is just about here almost. It's something to keep in mind, especially tomorrow. All is quiet tonight, and most of the day tomorrow on the quiet side. Then severe weather threat will be on the rise somewhat. It's an isolated severe weather threat, but it's still a threat nonetheless. That's coming up for tomorrow night after sunset till early morning hours on your Wednesday, Christmas morning. So keep that in mind. From Victoria County, especially to the east from our region here, there is a slight risk of severe weather, so we'll keep a heads up about the weather as we go through that time period. 60s from Wichita Falls to Austin, down to our area and down to the Rio Grande Valley. Notice be cooler up there in Amarillo, 43 degrees, 49 degrees in Lubbock. So this front is located right here. Finally going to get a push to the south as we've been waiting for. Make it push through the region coming up for tomorrow. Well after sunset tomorrow at night, when that front comes through, a lot of moisture to work with, a lot of instability. So the rain chances and the thunderstorm chances coming up for tomorrow evening will be fairly high, as we'll see here on the future tracker here in a moment or two. Temperatures in the 60s area wide from Victoria down to the coast. Pretty uniform, not falling too much more than this in the overnight tonight because of the cloud cover increasing and the humidity levels on the rise as well. So it kind of keeps that warm air in place. Future tracker, this is what I want you to look at. And pretty quiet for the overnight tonight. And then most of the day tomorrow through noon hour on to 3 o'clock hour on your day Monday, which is today. Then we go through your day tomorrow, which is Tuesday, of course. And we'll see the quiet conditions still continuing to hold through the Tuesday time frame. But here's what I'm looking for right here. Coming up by 10 o'clock, there's a line of storms along the frontal boundary. But we're going through, some of these could be on the severe side, so heads up about that. That's why the severe weather risk is there. Moving through Victoria by about midnight or so tomorrow night. And 1 a.m. finally moving through southern Victoria County. They're pushing offshore with heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and maybe some small hail associated with that. After the front moves through and the thunderstorm move on through, winds turn around the north, give us a little bit of cooling, giving us a pretty nice Christmas day tomorrow, on Wednesday I should say, Christmas Eve tomorrow as well. Pretty uneventful until we get to the overnight on Tuesday morning into your Christmas morning. And Victoria, partly cloudy skies throughout the day, increasing clouds as we go throughout the remainder of the day. By 6 p.m., cloudy skies, temperatures near 80 degrees for the daytime high. Gusty winds at times. Cuero, about the same as well, partly cloudy skies. And we're getting more cloud cover as we get toward the 6 p.m. hour, and rain chances well after sunset, as I showed you there on the future tracker. Port Lavaca, partly cloudy skies throughout the day, with high temperatures in the 70s or 80 degrees. So keep your umbrellas handy coming up for tomorrow night, the early morning hours on your Wednesday. You have to keep that in mind. After the storms move through, looks pretty good for your Christmas day. Partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-70s. Rain chances again for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Another front gets close to us and moves slowly through the area. Improving conditions by Sunday and Monday. Highs in the 70 to 80 degrees. Lows in the 50s and 60s. So pretty good overall forecast. Watch weather developments for tomorrow night. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code you see right there. It'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and free of charge. Be connected with us and knowing what's going on here in the Crossroads. You can be on top of that. And we've got Ray Robinson over there on top of sports.
Thank you, Trey. The Victoria Karate Academy was in action this holiday season. Coming up in sports, see how this organization aimed to spread some holiday cheer. We're helping you get in the holiday spirit this season. All week, I'll be featuring local sports stories that showcase how they are getting in the holiday spirit. Kicking things off with the Victoria Karate Academy, pun intended. The Victoria Karate Academy was helping the Crossroads get into the holiday spirit, participating in a Jingle Jamboree this past holiday season at the Victoria Mall.
Well, we love Christmas, so we're just spreading cheer and joy, and the kids want to perform and show all their martial arts tricks and maybe make someone's day. Well, we're going to do a fight scene in today's performance, and we're doing everything to Christmas music, and it's going to be really cool. So.
A lot of the aerial acrobatics was left to the other lead instructor, Jacob Spiegel. He's glad to use demos like this as an opportunity to bring them together as a family.
Just these demos, of course, I mean, when we get all the kids together, get them practicing, it kind of brings us closer together, and going to these demos like wherever it is, doesn't matter if it's at the mall or at the De Leon Plaza, wherever it is, we'll just show our spirit being together.
The performers themselves was also happy to spread some holiday spirit by showcasing their love for martial arts and making new friends.
We all come united together, and it helps us make new friends with all the people that we never seen before, and it helps us feel more confidence for more demos and where we go.
Helping people get in the holiday spirit for like showing love.
And there was one last thing that the Victoria Karate Academy wanted to let people of the Crossroads know.
Happy holidays from BJ!
Those are some great kids. Tidehaven High School quarterback Kel Russell, a player whose progression was noted well here at KAVU, a former Athlete of the Week, was one of the headliners in the All-District Award. Kel was the co-offensive MVP. First-team running back was a player whose size and rushing ability was a crucial part in the Tigers' offensive arsenal. Jason Duran became first-team running back. Duran also became first-team utility. The Houston Rockets closed their back-to-back on-the-road stretch against the Charlotte Hornets. There's Fred VanVleet, a guy who looked to have a better night than he did yesterday. He only had 2 points last night, but tonight was a different story. LaMelo Ball, one of the rising stars in the NBA, knocking back a smooth step-back three. VanVleet, on the other hand, will go ahead and answer back with a three of his own. The Rockets will go on to win this game. Final score, 114-101. And the report was made official for Houston Texans wide receiver Tank Dell. This could be some gruesome footage for viewers on what you're about to see. He did suffer a dislocated kneecap, but along with that was suffered torn ACL and other knee damage that he sustained in the Chiefs game on Saturday. After completing a touchdown. The injury is indeed season-ending, and he could miss some significant time next season as well. Best wishes and a speedy recovery to Tank Dell. That does it for your sports. Shawna?
All right, thank you, Ray. Well, still to come, Santa carries on a tradition that brings holiday cheer and heartfelt comfort to newborns and their families. You don't want to miss it. A secret passageway in Italy is now open to the public. The legendary Vasari corridor was built in 1565 in Florence. The elevated walkways offer breathtaking views of the city, and it connects a number of popular landmarks, including the Ponte Vecchio. However, the passageway was private for leaders to avoid their enemies. In recent decades, it was opened to those willing to pay a hefty fee for exclusive access. But now, for the first time in history, the corridor has opened to the general public. That looks pretty cool. Well, newborns and their families at Mercy Hospital in St. Louis received a special visit from Santa this holiday season. It's a 30-year tradition to bring Christmas cheer to families in the NICU. Santa's visit is a source of joy and comfort for parents who can't celebrate at home. The NICU staff say it creates lasting memories, bringing a little normalcy and holiday spirit during a challenging time. Santa's visit has become a beloved tradition that families and staff will cherish forever. And I'm sure that does mean a lot. You know, it's your first Christmas with your baby and you can't have them at home to, you know, do all of the traditional celebrating. So it's nice that, you know,
good way to put everybody in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, Santa brings a little bit of cheer.
Sure does.
All right, well, is our weather going to be bringing us some cheer this Christmas?
Well, it really depends on how you look at it. If you like warm and humid conditions, then you'd be cheering for that. If you like rainfall, which you'd be cheering for that. Severe weather, maybe not so much, because there's a slight risk coming up for tomorrow evening into early morning hours on your Christmas Day, Wednesday. Highs tomorrow near 80 degrees. Alert days for the second half of the day, actually from about sunset to the early morning hours on your Wednesday, with a line of storms moving on through. A little bit cooler, 75 degrees for your Christmas Day. Overall, Christmas Day looking pretty nice. And slight rain chances begin again Thursday through about Saturday or so, with highs near 80 degrees. More like a springtime forecast for us around here instead of Christmas, but we'll take whatever we can able to get.
That's right. So at least we're not seeing some of the severe snowstorms like some other areas.
Exactly. There's a reason why I'm down here.
Yeah. So
80 degrees in December, I'll take it.
Yeah, so. Well, Santa, a Virginia family got an early gift above their Christmas tree when a real-life owl replaced their star ornament. That is a real owl sitting there. Take a look at this. The Animal Welfare League of Arlington released these images on Instagram. The organization said this barred owl swooped into an Arlington home and perched atop the tree after knocking down the star. One of the animal welfare officers was able to gently capture the owl and release it back into the wild. So you may wonder, how did the bird of prey get inside in the first place? Just like Santa does, through the chimney.
That owl knew what he was
doing.
There you
go. He replaced the star.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
All right. Well, thanks for staying up late with us. Have a great night.